Today we'll be checking out a 32 gigabyte RetroPie image I downloaded off of ArcadePunks. This is the Sega only build by YB. We will be throwing that into our Raspberry Pi, and in conjunction with that is our retro flag, Sega style 6-button controller. And it's really easy to set this up. I'm going to show you really quick. Right here, A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder. Stick around and let's get this thing unboxed. What's up, guys? I'm Level1online, and before we get started, I got big news. Big. Did I say big? Big. That's right, big news. ArcadePunks at www.arcadepunks.com is now ad-fly free. They are now set free.
You're all free now! Yay!
And that's right, that means from here on out, you can go to ArcadePunks.com, go to their front end section, their Raspberry Pi front end section, download images to your heart's content. One thing I do want to mention though, that if torrents are not your thing, they have alternate methods of downloading, faster methods of downloading. They do have membership options, so I would recommend checking out those options. But for guys like me who prefer using torrents, this is great. It's gotten a reputation as being like malware infested. I've never had a problem, but I mean, some of you non-tech savvy guys can not decipher when something says download here or download here. You know, sometimes you guys fall for the trap. So sorry about that. But anyways, let's get back to our Sega RetroPie review. Alright guys, so before we get started, I want to talk about this case really quick. This is the C4 Labs Zebra case. Let me spin it around, show you guys. I got this from a fellow YouTuber. Thank you very much. Let me actually compare that. This is our plain Jane vanilla plastic case. So as you can see, this one looks amazing. Alright, moving on. Let's get this bad boy open right here. Look at that. That looks amazing. Let me feel some of the buttons. Really reminiscent of your Sega style. This feels great, not too intrusive. I don't think I'm going to end up misclicking the L and the R. Like, you really got to push down on this to do this. I know sometimes people have issues with this. They rest their fingers a little too heavy. I don't think I'm going to have that problem. This quality looks really good. This is currently on Amazon for $14.99. I'll put affiliate links in the description. I'll also put an affiliate link to that C4 Labs case as well. Now, I don't have any authentic Sega controllers. What I do actually have, I have another 6-button style controller. This is the Hori Fighting Commander, and I just want to do like a size comparison really quick. This one is going to be a little bit bigger, it feels like. And this is really good for fighting games. And I'm thinking this is going to serve as well for really good for fighting games as well, the 6-button layout. But mostly, I think for now, I'm just going to use it for our Sega only build. I also have another 6-button style pad. This is the Mortal Kombat X PDP fight pad. It works on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. This unfortunately will not work on our Raspberry Pi, but I can tell you this, the PlayStation version of the Mortal Kombat X pad will. As you can see, this one is just a little bit slightly larger than our Retro Flag controller. I'll tell you what, let's plug in our Retro Flag now to our Raspberry Pi and see how it works on the image. Alright, so on first boot we're going to get this really cool looking, really simple animation. I really like it. I like simplicity in images. Nothing too flashy, not a cluster mess of graphics and like overly epic music playing. I love simplicity. Alright, and when we're greeted with our welcome screen, our controller setup screen, what we need to do is grab our controller and hold down this Y button, this button right here in the middle. And while we're holding that down, we're going to plug in the USB cord, and that will enable direct input mode. So we got it plugged in. We can let go now. Now on our setup screen, we're going to hold down this A button. It's going to read it as a retro flag wired controller. So now, up, down, left, right. Start and select. I just noticed something that start and select are actually, I thought this was start and this was select. It's flipped, so it doesn't matter which order you want it. So let's do start for this, select for that. And then our A button, we're going to configure that here. B button here. X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder. And then from there we can skip the rest by just holding down any button. Or if you want to configure left trigger and right trigger, you can do that as well if you need save states. So we'll map this to L trigger, we'll map that to right trigger. So left thumb, you can just hold down the button to skip it. And just repeat the process. And when we get to the bottom, whatever you set select to, put that as your hotkey. And then at the bottom where it says OK, hit this C button. That will serve as our A button. So the first system we have set up here is our Game Gear system. Let's hit down. We have our main system with 30 games. Let's go in here and navigate to get an idea. Okay, so these are arcade games like Afterburner, Afterburner 2, Altered Beast, wonderful. Sega Master System, Megadrive, configuration, 32X, Sega CD, 53 games, SG-1000, and then back to Game Gear. Alright, so if I had to make a suggestion, what I would do for here for MAME, I would swap out the artwork for like something like Sega Classics. See if you can find that. Or something that says, make like custom artwork that maybe says like Sega arcade games. Other than that, I would maybe reorder this. I would put RetroPie at the end, and that can all be done through a custom es_systems.cfg, and just reorder that. So you don't have Megadrive followed by RetroPie followed by 32X. See what I mean? You can just have it. Do it in your own sequential order by system, with Sega CD being the final thing at the end, instead of SG-1000 being the final thing at the end. I would put like I said, I would put in sequential order, and I would have put those early systems first, and then have it like build up to the most graphically intense games. That's just my personal suggestion. But yeah, Game Gear greeting you first. That is a good way to start things out. Start off simple. So let's launch a system. Here's what I want to demonstrate first of all is a plus. Something I noticed is he has all the games in the Mega Drive set up for 6 buttons. So what we do is we hit select, hit the left arrow, go to the S's. We're just going to go to Street Fighter. There's our Street Fighter. Really nice custom loading screen. Go right here to Hyper. Alright, so as far as the controller goes, I mean, I'm nailing these dragon punches. I'm nailing my dragon kicks, or hurricane kicks. Yeah, everything's looking good. I'm really liking this controller. Fireball. Boom. Alright, let's dragon punch. Boom. As far as looking at this image right now, it does look a little stretched out. Let's go into the RetroArch menu. We hit select an X. Let's go into video settings and it's set to core provided. One recommendation I can do, you see how we set it to custom and it stretches out. It's the same with 4:3. So now it's in 4:3 aspect ratio. And it's going to be a little tricky at first navigating and getting used to it because we set up our controls in an unorthodox way. But like I said, when you go into the game, you should feel right at home with the way the games are set up. And a great way to tell whether you are in 6-button mode or not, let's go back into Street Fighter. You hit select an X to go into RetroArch menu. And it should be right here in options. And there it is, input device 1 6-button pad, input device 2. And I noticed there was a custom configuration file getting loaded up when this game started, so it's safe to assume that the custom configuration file was loading up that setting. Another thing I noticed, he's using the Megadrive emulator, which is good, because one problem issue that I had on my own personal image was in the 32X, getting something like NBA Jam to load up.
Welcome to NBA Jam! Showtime! Tonight's matchup.
So on my image, I think the previous one that I made, you'd be able to get into the game, but for some reason when the game, when the toss-up was about to happen, the game would just stop working. As you can see, it's up and running. So he's done extensive testing, so I give him props for that.
From downtown, switch!
Alright guys, this is a great image. I recommend downloading it off ArcadePunks. You guys have a good night. Take care.